Hey everyone, this is my Surly ice cream truck. It's normally got some wider tires on it, but today I've set it up with 29 by 3 inch tires, and we're going to be taking it on the same ride that I did on my initial review, and we're going to do a comparison of how 26 by 4.8 tires feel versus 29 by 3 inch. So let's go ride. I like the way that felt. It's so much lighter and quicker to accelerate than the stock wheel set. The weight difference isn't as crazy as I thought. I'll have to weigh it when I get home, but I would say that's mainly due to adding the Bluto, the suspension fork on the front. But rotating weight, or what's on the outside of your wheels, makes a bigger difference than just the static weight or what's attached to your bike or you. You can feel it a lot more when it's rotating. All of these sections where it's dirt and a little bit of rocks, I would expect to be a lot faster than on fully fat tires, but it's when I get up into the really chunky rocky stuff where you're on the baby head rocks and in the creek bed, up and down, I'm guessing I'm going to be faster on the fat bike. It's a little bit different of a comparison, I'll admit, because I did not have a suspension fork on the full fat, but I think it's still going to be a really good comparison for some of these sections, because it's not all about suspension. A lot of this has to do with just sheer traction and grip. I don't know that I'm going a whole lot faster, if at all, but I will say I am not nearly as tired. Here's why the trails look the way they do. We'll take the creek route again. Whew, definitely a little trickier than on the 4.8s. All right, here we go into this rocky creek bed, at least the first section of it. This part's gonna be dry, and then next it'll be wet. Didn't make it. I had a bad line choice on the fat version too, but I still was able to recover. Yeah, see? Pretty sure I made it up this last time. Whew. You know, I'm not gonna lie, the suspension fork is really throwing another variable in there I don't really love. I might walk it out actually. Whew. Oh, man. Not going so well. It's so interesting. It just does not float over this as well. I guess I should have expected that, but it's a really big difference. All right, this is the same place I turned around last time. Just for proof, there's that little fake trail that I don't love. So we're gonna turn around and head back down and see how it's going, but so far a very different experience on the super rocky stuff like this, and then not a whole lot different on the dirt so far. I mean, I'm way less tired, and I'm sure if I was going on a really long ride I'd feel a difference, but Yeah, a lot bigger of a difference than I thought. All right, don't fail me now, cable brakes. It's also getting dark. Just shows you how little I ride at night. I didn't even think about bringing a light. Goodness. Whew. Wow, I'm getting rocked. What a pun. Whew. Oh yeah, last time there was that log, and they moved it. Okay, feeling better on the downhill. I think I'm getting maybe used to it. For some reason, I expected these two different setups to feel a lot more similar than they did. They're about the same diameter, so the rollover felt about the same when you approach a rock or a root. But when it got really chunky, there's just no beating that extra width you get from a fat tire. I did start to adjust to the way the 29 plus tire felt, and I started to get a little bit better at riding in the super chunky stuff, but it was still a lot harder than the fat tire. If I knew I was getting into really technical terrain that wasn't going to be super fast, then I think a rigid fat bike is probably the ideal thing to go with. If I'm going to go on a lot of mixed terrain and there's going to be some smooth stuff, maybe still some sand and some more technical features, 29 plus is the way to go. I was a lot less tired and it just felt way more playful. Either setup is not a bad way to go, and I'm glad that I can run this bike either way, but I do think that most of the time in the summer I'm going to stick with 29 plus. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check me out on Instagram at Ride Year Round, and I'll see you next time.